y'all, Stacy here. I cannot wait to share my warm reviews of the Scentsy Valentine's Day collection with you, even though I am in shock that it's almost Valentine's Day. As a quick reminder, I do use mostly 25 watt and up Scentsy warmers as I am a Scentsy consultant. Those warmers are typically on for 15 hours a day. I'd love it if you'd subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so we can stay in touch. I really love Valentine's Day samplers, and it may surprise you why. It may not. I wonder if you're like me. Let me know in the comments, but I enjoy smelling fragrances that I love or that I hate. It's fun for me either way. And with Valentine's Day samplers, they tend to dwell, they don't always dwell, but they tend to dwell in more floral, perfumey spaces. And I have strong opinions about those. So I don't expect to have a neutral reaction to a Valentine's Day collection, and this one is no exception. Before we jump into my opinions on the fragrance, I do want to mention that I love that Scentsy is doing labels with scent notes on them in these gift packs. Now, of course, I am going to struggle to pull this apart. Let's hope I don't rip it. But you can see they have this kind of branded label with the scent notes very clearly marked inside so that if you gift this, it will be very easy for someone to receive it and know exactly what's in it. I love that. Even though I enjoy a mystery melt, I know everybody does not. So I love that it's giftable. It's really giftable. Now the bag itself, you can kind of hear here, it's got this almost papery consistency, but it's a very well constructed bag. And another thing that I love about this bag is the branding is on the label, and that label is very easily removable, which I think is important. You can see the first bar that we have here is the Peppered with Kisses, and this is one that I also have in pods going in my car, so I will share my review of that when we get to that fragrance review. This is Sweetheart Sugar Cookie. This is the one that I was the most excited about, just for potential for being a love for me in this collection. And this is Apricot Clouds, and I couldn't smell this one on cold. I mean, I'll save my review when we get there, but I do want to just quickly take a look at the bag. I know some folks are like me in that I reuse bags. Just to give you an idea of the scale of the bag, I think it's a really great size for putting together a goodie bag, and you don't have to keep the wax in it. Like the wax for me, and then I can use the bag to gift other things to people. So I'm really excited for that. The Scents of the Season bag was the same. I'll see if I can grab that. I think it's just down here in this drawer. But first, let's get into talking about these wax bars. Now, the first one that I melted was Apricot Cloud. Now, this is one that I was interested in melting, but like I said up top, when I first cold sniffed it, I got nothing. Like I could smell nothing from the bar. I smelled other things to make sure that I hadn't lost my sense of smell. It's Apricot Cloud's list with scent notes of sweet apricot nectar, lily of the valley, and cloud musk. And that's a mixed bag for me. Sometimes I really love lily of the valley. Sometimes it can be headache inducing for me. Apricot nectar I tend to enjoy in everything that I've smelled, and cloud musk is an unknown quantity to me. I do enjoy lots of fragrances that have a musk note, but I have no idea what cloud musk is. Um, and so this was an interesting one for me. I knew it was probably going to lean perfumey, and I think it does. However, I will say that this was so light, and it was probably lighter for me because I did just 2 cubes in my bedroom. I think if I wanted to get a full kind of experience with this, I would put 4 cubes in my bedroom. I think this is a bar that if you want to get a kind of room filling throw, then you would want to use more wax to get there. For me personally, this bar is lovely, but it doesn't knock it out of the park. It's kind of a neutral when you dial down your wax, and I'm not looking for neutral in my Valentine's Day collection bars, as I said up top. So this is one that I would probably use in bathrooms. I definitely will enjoy it, but one bar would last me a long time. Now, here we go with the one that I was the most excited about. This is Sweetheart Sugar Cookie, and it did not disappoint me at all. These scent notes grabbed my attention. It's sweet cherry and green pistachios baked into warm vanilla bean and sugar musk. It seems like maybe it's a bakery bar because it says, green pistachios, cherry, vanilla bean indicates that it was baked in. And then the sugared musk tends perfumey. So I had no idea which way this was going to lean, and I feel like it leans both. It's like a bakery. It's not body care. It doesn't lean body care at all to me, but I would not be sad if I smelled this way. It's beautiful. And I am a person who does love cherry, and I do think the cherry is present. However, to me, the cherry is not like it's not like a maraschino cherry. It's not an individual cherry. It's like a cherry leaning pistachio to me. This bar was a solid medium throw for me. I loved it in my open concept living and kitchen. I did use my whole bar in both of those spaces, and I got 1.5 days. The first 8 hours, the cherry leaning pistachio was the present and forward note, and it was glorious. And then by the end of that first day, that drifted off, and into the second day, it was just a warm, delicious bakery fragrance that I loved. Peppered with Kisses on Cold Sniff was one that I was pretty sure was not going to be a favorite of mine, even though I loved the way that it smelled on cold. There were a couple of notes that I picked up that I thought, oh, this is probably on warm going to be very, very perfumey. And it is perfumey. However, I loved this bar. I got great performance. For me, this bar did go for 2 days. There was a significant drop off, probably at about the 12-hour mark in intensity. But the second day was beautiful and I could still smell it. So I don't mean it's like 2 full days of the fragrance, but it was beautiful. And I did this in a couple of spaces. I did this in my closed concept living, and I also did this in my bedroom, and both spaces were filled beautifully. And I do think this is open concept worthy. It lists with scent notes of hibiscus with pink pepper, brings heat to exotic lychee and wild raspberry. And I think maybe the lychee and the wild raspberry is providing just the perfect amount of balance for me. This is a body care bar. This does lean body care. It leans perfumey, but it's the type of fragrance that I can really enjoy. And everyone in my home loved this bar. I currently have this pod version of this fragrance going in my van. It is very similar to this to my nose. It's not exactly the same. The pod leans a little fruitier, but I'm enjoying that in the van. So let's look at all of these bars. If I was to pick my favorites out of these, I think this is how I would rank them. But when I look at Peppered with Kisses and Sweetheart Sugar Cookie, they're in a dead heat. I love these both. Apricot Clouds is one that I'll let cure and see if it becomes bolder, but these two I enjoyed straight out of the gate and I really loved them. Apricot Clouds also for me, it's just a little bit too neutral. I do want to have a, strong reaction to enjoy it. So I don't think it's a repurchase for me, but I'm definitely going to enjoy what I have. And both of the other two I am going to be getting more of. All in all, if you're interested in any of these fragrances, it's a collection that I recommend. And again, this bag, you guys, I love that they're doing the branded stuff on these easily removable components. The bag is adorable, so I feel like it's very reusable and regiftable. And like they did that, let me grab here's the Sense of the Season bag. Am I the only one that the collection bag matters this much to? I still have the Sense of the Season tag on this one, but I purchased several of these and popped the tag off to put, other gifts in. It's a really solid, like velvet bag, and I love that. I really appreciate that the branding kind of components are separate from the bag or can easily be separated. I love this collection. I would love to hear what your favorites from this collection are. Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you next time. Thanks again for watching. I hope you have a wonderful end of your January and into February.